So the third, and what I can only assume is the final battle between Crocodile and Luffy has finally started. They've had two before and they've both been brutal, and Luffy has lost both of them in pretty devastating fashion. But in this fight, he's got a different strategy. He's using his blood in order to be able to hit Crocodile, because blood thickens sand the same as water. And I think that's absolutely genius. And it's also quite indicative of like the battle scars that he's gone through while fighting Crocodile, because this has been his most difficult villain to fight so far. I mean, by far. Do you know what I mean? Like, both times he's fought him, he's been pretty much destroyed. It hasn't really been close. The second time he managed to do a bit of damage, but even so, Crocodile got the better of him. But in this instance, it feels like Crocodile is pulling out his last resort, and that's this poison hook that he has hidden under the golden hook that he has on his hand. And it just goes to show Crocodile's getting a little bit desperate. He can feel like Luffy just isn't giving up. He just won't stop fighting. It just goes to show how determined Luffy is, especially when it comes to his friends, because he, as soon as he comes in, he demands that Crocodile gives back what he took. And Crocodile's listing off all the things he's taken, like he's taken lives, he's taken money, he's taken people's trust. But Luffy's talking specifically about the country and Vivi's country, because he says as soon as they arrived in this kingdom, it was already lost, and he's come here for Vivi specifically because Vivi is his friend, and he knows that if he's able to defeat Crocodile, he can essentially save Luffy from this torment that she's going through right now. At least in his own way. Obviously, they still have to stop this bomb from going off, which has like a minute left, and it's getting very tense right now. They know exactly where it is, but it's just getting there now. There's a couple of Baroque work members in there that they need to defeat before they manage to get to the bomb. But if Crocodile's defeated, the bomb gets, the cannoneer gets sort of diffused and taken away, and they manage to somehow create some peace between the Rebel Army and the Royal Army, maybe by exposing Crocodile in front of everyone, then, you know, peace can finally return to Alabasta, even though there has still been many, many lives lost. But, you know, this Alabasta arc has been so well written, and it feels like the consequences are so dire in every situation. It feels like if any of these three things don't happen, um, Alabasta is doomed. So everything has to go perfectly. Now, Luffy has to win this fight. There's no other choice. They have to stop the cannon from going off, and they have to stop the two armies from fighting each other. There's so much at stake right now, and it feels very like palpable, the consequences of everything that's going on at the moment. So many moving parts in this story, and they're all extremely interesting. This is Luffy's third and final chance to defeat Crocodile. If he's not able to beat him this time, everything is lost, and Crocodile has an extra weapon this time with the poison, so Luffy has even more to overcome. I don't know how he's going to beat him, but the using the blood strategy is genius, and he might actually be able to beat him using this, because, you know, Crocodile can't take that away unless he takes all of the blood away from Luffy. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, Luffy has this constant ammo now in order to attack Crocodile, and if he ever runs out, he can just damage himself to get more blood. Do you know what I mean? It's like an endless supply of ammunition against Crocodile, which is crazy to say, but that's literally what it is. Tashigi had a bit of a redemption in her own mind in this episode as well, where she is following her own justice from the orders of Captain Smoker. Smoker said to her, follow your own justice, and whatever happens, you know, that's the right thing to do, and that's what she's doing. She directed the Straw Hats towards the clock tower where the bomb's going off, towards Vivi, and she defended them against Baroque works, and she sort of understands, you know, Luffy isn't, while he is the target of the Navy, there's a lot more important things going on right now, and she sort of put that aside and is following her own sense of justice, which I think is a big step for her character. She's not just following orders, she's going based off of her own back, if that makes sense. But like I said, this Alabasta arc has been absolutely fantastic. It really feels like we're coming to a close now, and I can't wait to see how it all finishes off. So yeah, let's do it.